Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. Today I'm going to set up a new grow light station. I picked up a new tiered shelving system and I actually want to build something that goes along the bottom part of the wall. Last couple of videos talked about the grow lights, seed starting supplies down there. Now I just want to do a quick video on helping you kind of think about how would you set up your own grow light station. Now this did fine last year, but you can see that the fluorescent tubes along there are 4 feet long and that shelf just wasn't quite wide enough. I don't like the look, it kind of looks messy to me. That shelf's going to get retired and go downstairs. So I went out and I purchased a shelving unit that is 4 feet long, and that would be the first thing, is really think about the shelf, the size of your lights, and try and match them so the lights are going to stay right within there and not come out over that way. I also bought a metal shelf. It has a lot of places where you can hang the lights from. Same thing when I purchased this shelf. It has a lot of holes, so it was really easy to set up the grow lights. We'll talk about setting up the grow lights. How do you space them? How are you going to use those? This is what the final project's going to look like. On the right side is where I'm going to be starting the seeds. They'll stay on this side 4 or 5 weeks, and then they're going to transition over to here when they're taller. They don't need as much light, there's greater spacing, and they'll finish out growing here before I transition them outside. But again, first thing, think about the size of the light you're using, how many shelves you're going to need. My system is really set up for doing like 300-400 seed starts. You may not need all of that. All right, so let me open the box, get to setting it up, and then we'll transfer the lights over and I'll talk to you about why you might want to use double lights like that, or you may want to use a single light. Now I like the wire racks, one for the look and that we can hang really from any part of this. But unlike the plastic shelves, and these have worked great for years, these will get retired to my cellar, I'll use them down there. You have to set the shelves where they fit. You can't adjust them along here. With the wire rack system, and you can see, 4-foot light fits nicely. Anywhere there's a ridge along here, you can set the shelf. Assembly is pretty straightforward. Top is coming this way, so there's it's going to be hard to see, but it says top right here. And I want it to go to this line, so I just click it on, then I pull it towards the line I want, and it will snap in, and then the other half goes right there. And that sets up the place where the shelving is going to sit. And you can see I set up the other ones, and this would just get put right into here. See if I can do it without knocking it down. Something like that. And then I'll just pull the shelf that way, and that will set up the base. And again, you can adjust it anywhere along here all the way up, and that's perfect for setting the right height of the shelf to your grow light. Have all 3 of the shelves on, and I wanted to take this right to the windowsill, so everything stays below the window, right along the sill line, and it's going to go all the way down that wall, and I think it'll look really nice. On top, I can put my larger transplants that have grown 4, 6, 8 inches. They don't need as much light. You really worry about light when you're seed starting and they just germinate, and then when you're getting them to size. So this is one of the 4-foot LEDs that I talked about in a previous video. I'll link that in there. But please subscribe to my channel because I'm going to go through the entire process of starting seeds indoors, and we already have 2 videos done. Now, you could go with 1 light right in the middle if you don't have a lot, but I like to use 2. So one's going to go right here, one's going to go right here. When you slide in your trays, they're going to have enough intense light and do what they need to do. All your 4-foot lights are going to come with a chain, and you can just set it up just like this. You loop it around, you take one of these S-hooks, put it down there, that secures it, and then you could raise it to wherever you want. You could move this S-hook right up to here if you need to, depending on the spacing, and you would take this and you just drop it down like that. You take one end, goes into the longer slot, slide it through, and there you go. That will hook your light together. And you can move it up and down if you need to. You can also move your trays from underneath up and down, or you can set your shelves to match you know the distance you want between your seed starts and your lights. Okay, let me set all of this up. Getting close. 4 feet. Now why is that important? So right now I have 2 flats that go under there, and I'll talk more about this in future videos, but at seed starting you really want the lights close, and you want them to stay there for a good week or so after germination, because the more light you give them, the more stocky your plants will be, and you won't have leggy seed starts. Now after they're under there like that for a while, and you can see it's really nice coverage. So I wanted to go over this part of the video in the middle of the video for those of you that might sign off real quick. It's really important as you're thinking about the design to also think about the spacing, what kind of trays you're going to be using, how you're going to label your plants, and then how you're setting up the lights going across. I'll explain that in a second. So when you're germinating, you can see the gap here is really, really small. So you're not going to be able, gently drop this down, you're not going to be able to put labels on there like that because they're not going to slide under there. So you can use a piece of paper and you put a piece of tape on a corner so that you orient it. The tape goes there, and then you just do a grid that represents the cells here. So if I'm doing something like this, I'll put the same variety of tomato down here and I'll just put the name across. If you're putting different seeds in there, then you just write the name of the variety in each square. And that's a great way to keep track of what's growing while it's in something narrow like that. As you work your way up, you might have more space, and you can use labels like that, or you can add those labels later. So like I've been saying through the video, I'm going to start germination here. They're going to move up to here and have more space, and then maybe after 6 or 8 weeks they're going to come over here. When the plants are bigger, they need less light. So the next stop is right here. There's 2 lights. That gives more intensity as they're still growing. Once they get taller, then I bring them down here, and there's only a single light that's up much higher, and that single light will take care of plants that are 6, 8, 10 weeks old. They just don't need that much light. So I'm really thinking about how to design this with the number of lights, the distance between the lights and the seed starts, and how to label them so you don't forget what you're growing. As your plants get bigger, they don't need as much light, so you can turn them and you'll actually be able to get 4 flats under there about 10, 14 days after germination, and that's going to be plenty of light. And you could rotate these around, do whatever you want to do depending on what you're growing. But the 4-foot shelving unit is extremely versatile, and you'll be able to get 4 flats on there this way. We can even hang some foil down here, some foil in there, really concentrate the light. But that's my goal with this system. I want it to be below the window, nice and long, very versatile. This is going to be the side where I start my seeds. The other side will be for when the plants are bigger. First stage is going to be right here. You can see my fist doesn't quite go under the light. These are T8s. They are a little bit warmer when they give off the light, and that's great for your seed starts. They like the warmth. And as they grow and they're under there, they'll come up to here. You can see my fist fits under there. There's another inch. So I'll transition them up to here. And this will be probably, like I said, 10 to 14 days down here. Another 2 weeks or so up here. And then they'll be transitioned over there. But again, I'm able to set this up how I want. Some lights are set up different. You can see the hooks right there are in the middle. And I was able to come up to the top and put the chain right there. The hooks go into the outer part of these T8 fixtures, so I was able to put the chain on the outside. So there's a lot of, as I said, versatility with these wire rack systems. My grow light station is done. I think I'll be happy with this for 2020. The right side's going to be where I start my seeds. The lights are closer to the shelving units. You really want the lights to be a couple inches above your seed starts. I'll talk more about that in future videos. So this side's going to stay on for 14 to 16 hours. In my previous video I recommended a timer. This timer, I don't know if you can see it, but it has a circuit breaker because you have water around. I recommend getting a timer that has a circuit breaker in it if it's going to be sitting on the ground. There's 4 plugs that go into there. This one can actually handle up to 8. But this side's going to stay on much longer, 14 to 16 hours. This side is for the bigger transplants. Maybe when they get to the 6 weeks of growth indoors, they'll come over here. These lights are higher, and they're on a separate timer that plugs into the wall. Trust me, I can't get to it. But these lights are only going to stay on for 10 to 12 hours. So a lot less light when your plants are bigger. But I think the whole system will take care of itself. I don't like these posts sticking up. I may put some clay pots on there. But for now, I'm just repurposing some of the old seed potatoes and boxes that I grew. Supplies will go up across the top. I can even take bigger transplants if I'm having some sort of issue or if there's frost coming, and I can put plants all along here. The light from the window won't really matter that much, but I have a lot of space. Hope you enjoyed the video. It gives you some ideas to think about when you're designing your own grow light station. These things can be kind of expensive if you're outlaying the money for the first time, but they will save you a lot of money in the long run. The fluorescent lights, the LED lights nowadays will last 40, 50, 60,000 hours. What does that mean? You know, that's almost like 10 years worth of light. When you buy your seed starts at stores, at nurseries, they can be $2, $3, $4 each. If you do it this way, they're well under 25 cents a transplant when you consider all the supplies that you use. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a full seed start series for 2020. Thanks for watching.